Today I will exactly show you how to break down big tasks and seemingly daunting tasks into small steps and manageable things that you can actually do. And trust me, it is a superpower. So let's get started. At first, you should know why it is important. It is important because big tasks are overwhelming. That was common knowledge. But what is not common knowledge is that breaking them down into smaller tasks is actually very efficient for us to do, because whenever we see a big task, it makes us feel scared and it makes us feel like that we cannot do it. But whenever we break it down into smaller and manageable steps, we think like, alright, this is easy, I can do this very easily. And so it just makes our focus, our concentration, our output much better. Now the first tip I will give you is start with the end. That is, have a clear direction or a clear outcome of what you are trying to achieve. You have to define the end or the last final result that you are trying to achieve by the task you are going to perform. For example, it might be completing a project, it might be completing a presentation, it might be completing or revising a chapter for exams, etc. etc. Mainly I will be using study analogies today so that you can relate better. And so let's get on to tip number 2. Identify the major milestones. So what's a milestone? A milestone is an achievement that occurs after a certain time and after certain work put by yourself, and that signals that your work is going pretty smoothly. Because if you are hitting your daily targets, your daily milestones perfectly, then your work is going smoothly. For example, if you are trying to revise a chapter, then there are the following milestones. For example, there is completing the example Q&A which are already given in the textbook. Then there are solving the questions from back exercise. Then there are questions from another book. For example, you might be studying the basics from one book and solving questions from another different advanced book. And then you can attempt a mock test paper of that chapter so that you can understand your knowledge and you can test yourself within a given time frame. These are the following milestones that are there when you are trying to revise a chapter. And so each milestone represents a significant step towards the completion of the task. Now, tip number 3 is break milestones into smaller tasks. Milestones by themselves are quite big. For example, completing example question answers. Now, if a chapter is very long, then it might have 50 or 100 different example question answers. And so completing them becomes a daunting task. Hence, what you have to do is you have to break them down even further. For example, you might say I will do 1 to 20 questions now, then I'll take a 5-minute break, then I'll do 21 to 40, and so on, so forth. Basically, what we are trying to do in this step is break down the seemingly daunting task into even smaller one. First, we have taken the big goal of revising the chapter, and then we have broken it down into completing example question answers, completing back question answers, and then we have taken completing example question answers and even broken it down further to completing just questions from 1 to 20. And whenever you are making these small tasks, you have to be super specific. You cannot be general that alright, I will go and study, alright, I will go and solve questions. No, you have to be super specific with your numbers that yes, I will solve questions 1 to 20 or 1 to 30 or 1 to 5 if they are hard questions, and then they will not become daunting. The next tip I have for you is priority. This is something I speak about a lot, so I will have a video coming up on the screen above here or here probably, and you can watch it with in-depth priority. But for now, I will spare you the details and I will get to the main part. That is, sort all of those tasks in priority wise order. For example, within those tasks, what are the tasks that you should prioritize at first? They will be solving exercise question answers because example question answers are pretty easy. Then solving questions from another book, and most probably my first priority would be attempting a test paper of that chapter because it also has a time bound restriction. And so once you sort them into priority wise manner, you will add one more layer of efficiency while dealing with your tasks. You can use prioritization techniques like the Eisenhower matrix, which I have already explained in a previous video and I will not go into depth, but it is a metric of 4 quadrants, like quadrants in a graph, which are based on important and urgency, whether the task is important or whether the task is urgent, whether it is both, whether it's not both, and so on and so forth. The next tip I have for you is deadline, and there is one law that you should understand very nicely, which is Parkinson's law. Parkinson's law states that work expands to fill the given time. That means if you schedule something for 1 day, it will take you 1 day. If you schedule something for 1 week, it will take you 1 week. And if you schedule that simple tasks for 1 month, it will take you 1 month. that also means that scheduling it for 1 hour will take 1 hour because you are having the deadline. This is the reason why students do the project at the last minute and are still able to complete it, because they are cramming all of these things into a short space of time, and in that period of time they are super hyper productive, and that is why they can do all the tasks together. Similarly, there are people who just cram everything into their heads just the night before the exam and still get good results. It is because their brain switches on that hyper focused mode and they learn faster than a normal people because they are under pressure. Another thing you can do to visualize your deadlines is making a timeline, which I will recommend only for the heavy projects which are very big. For example, you can have a timeline spanning across a length of time, and you can just keep it like week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and you can write the things that you want to accomplish by then. That these are the things that I want to do by week 1, these are the things that I want to do by week 2, similarly so on and so forth. Alright, so the next tip I have is stop multitasking if it is not obvious already. Now you have to focus on one task and complete it, and then start a new task. And this is what you have to do basically: start, do, end, repeat. This is what you should do. You should not start a task then start another task simultaneously trying to complete both of them, which is never going to happen because you're not at that capability yet, or truly speaking, no one is at the capability yet to do multitasking, because that is not something humans have been genetically evolved to do. We have been evolved to focus on one particular task for a given amount of time, and these are the specific things that will help you boost that part of you, that is deep work or frog task. Deep work is a concept by Cal Newport of 3 hours of relentless working and just getting shit done. Similarly, frog task is also another analogy which says if you are given a frog to eat, like live frog to eat, and you had two choices: either you would eat it before the dinner, or two, you would eat it after the dinner. And so if you have a reasonable conscience, then you will obviously choose eating it before the dinner, because when you are eating it before the dinner, all of that bad taste in your mouth, that will be washed away by the dinner itself. But if you choose to eat it after the dinner, then the entire time of the dinner you will just worry about the frog and you will miss your delicious dinner as well. Similarly, when doing a list of tasks, start with the hardest task and so complete it first and then move on to the small bits, because most people spend their time in busy work rather than actual work, which is also called shallow work. And so Pomodoro is BS. It is my personal opinion. There is a whole fan base for Pomodoro technique, but I personally find it absolutely BS because 25 minutes is just too much short of a time. Instead, I would rather suggest, if you can't do 3 hours of work, then I would suggest at least ultradian sprints which align with your natural circadian rhythm. They are about 90 minutes long and then you take a 20 minutes long break. Next tip what I have is be like water, which basically means be flexible with your schedule, with your work ethic, everything. For example, if a situation changes quite drastically, you should be able to counter it. You should not just be able to sit there and think like, oh well, all of my plans are vaporized. No, that should not happen. What should happen instead is you will come up with a counter strategy right then and there. For example, today your teacher told you that the next day is a test, random surprise test. So would you spend your time reading theory, or instead would you rather spend your time solving the questions which are more important? Of course, you would do the important task first, that is solving the questions. Similarly, you should be able to adapt. The next tip on the list is tracking, and tracking basically means seeing your progress. You can do it physically or digitally, and basically what you have to see is what you have done and what needs doing. Your to-do list and your already checked off list. Your checked off list will give you a sense of motivation and you will really feel that alright, today I accomplished something. And your what needs doing list, that is to-do list, will keep you in check for if you are having too much motivation and you are just wasting time by doing random shit, because it keeps things real. This is the major takeaway from this video if you are going to take any of the tips with you, that is celebrate. Now the Andrew Tate philosophy does not work for everyone. Like, it seems so cool that put all of your emotions away, put all of your stress away, put all of your each and everything away, just work and hustle and grind. but it is not practical, at least for most of the people. So what I recommend instead is celebrate small wins. For example, this is a very reasonable thing, that is, after I complete 50 questions, I can have my favorite candy bar. Now let's talk about some tools and resources that will help you in your journey. Number one thing is calendar, and it is a must have because it is the single app that will change your entire life. In calendar, you get to schedule your own life and you get to create your own life in one way, and so it is a must have for a person who is trying to get their productivity onto another level. Number two is habit, goal or task tracker, which I previously spoke about. That is some sort of system to track whatever things you have done, whatever things you have completed, whatever things there are left. And personally, I use Microsoft Excel, which might seem a bit outdated because there are different apps like Todoist, Notion and all of this, but I feel like Microsoft Excel is the better choice for me because of the third point, that is I don't use random complex software that has a steep learning curve. I like to get shit done in as efficiently as possible, and hence I don't want to spend my time learning a software and then trying it out and experimenting with it a lot of time. What I want is a simple, efficient solution. And so congratulations, you have reached the end point, and so you now have the toolkit to perform any endeavor you desire. And from here on out, what you can do is you can go and subscribe to my mailing list, which I call Saturday Stories, where weekly I upload a email newsletter that is full of valuable content, and you can go and have a look. Otherwise, you can go and click this video on your screen right now, which is about if you are feeling stressed without any reason for it, or else you can click the other video on the screen to watch about how to say no without feeling guilty, or else you can check out my website where all of my social links are posted in one place so that you can connect with me a lot more efficiently. So with that out of the way, I'll see you in the next one. Start if you haven't already.